This is 2 Minutes Together, a ministry of Central Lutheran Church, Eugene, Oregon. I'm Pastor Ben. This week, as we celebrate Christmas, I'd like to focus on just one thing about the mystery of the incarnation, God becoming human, that we celebrate here at Christmas at the birth of Jesus. And what I want to emphasize is kind of the paradox. Because on the one hand, it's a great, powerful work of God that God could become human. And there's something that I think we miss in the midst of this celebration is there might be something underwhelming here too. You'd think if God was going to finally visit Earth in the way that people in the ancient world were expecting, it would be God coming from the clouds of heaven with thunder and lightning and shocking everyone into believing exactly who he is. Instead, God becomes a baby and looks just like a baby. And indeed, Jesus did do supernatural acts in his ministry, but the way he walked around was a human. Because Jesus really was human. Didn't just look like a human, really was human. Looked like an ordinary human. And so, what's going on? In our world, when people are asking, I don't know how I could believe in all this supernatural stuff, wouldn't you think the other model, God showing up in power and shocking, would get people to believe? Well, if you look through the Old Testament, there's not actually a lot of evidence for that. Every time that God does appear in that way, the same way Jesus does these powerful miracles, it doesn't really last. There is, of course, awe when it happens, but then does that really lead to a life of faith? If you look historically, not for very long. And so, instead, what has Jesus done? Come as a human, saying rather than the great, big, powerful other, instead, Jesus has become you, where you are, in your ordinary life. So, is it that great, powerful thing? Yes. But no, it doesn't look great and powerful. It looks very normal. Because you live in a life that's ordinary. You don't live with those great, big, powerful things. Those have to happen only rarely for them to be meaningful. Instead, Jesus is with you all the time, where you are. It's less exciting and more present. That Jesus, as God become human, is within each human every day, right where they are. This is 2 Minutes Together. I'm Pastor Ben.